Welcome to the Salt City Records x2 speed file install video. At any time during this program, you can pause and even rewind this DVD. Do this if you need to go over material a second time. Although this video is thorough, we recommend you stick to the procedures in the x2 speed file's installation instructions that ship with your unit. With that said, let's get started. Before starting, we recommend you gather the following tools. In addition to these tools, we will be using a hand dolly and a folding stepladder in this video. If you are building your system while watching this video, stop the program and gather these items. Now let's stage our materials. Use the dolly to move the shelving packages in or near the room that we will be installing the unit. The tag on the sides of these boxes can give valuable information. We will be focusing on the highlighted area shown here. These include an item description, item quantity, and paint color. Here are the typical packages and descriptions for a single starter unit. If you have any questions about the materials you have received, contact your dealer, or you can contact Richard's Wilcox directly. Using caution, cut the packaging straps on the starter base box packaging with the razor knife. You can also find the seam on the strap and peel it back with your fingers, making it easy to break with your hands. Remove the materials and make sure all of the contents were shipped. Lay the starter base in an open area. Depress the foot pedal and rotate the rotor bottom approximately 45 degrees from the position it was shipped. Open your starter hardware package. It should contain all the materials shown here. Remove the 1/4-inch square socket and connect the ratchet handle. Insert the end of the 1/4-inch square socket into the foot leveling access hole. Turn it counterclockwise until it won't turn anymore. Then turn it clockwise about 15 full turns. This will give you about a 1/2 inch clearance between the base and the floor. Repeat this on the other 3 holes. Return the rotor bottom to its original lock position. Tip the base up on its back and familiarize yourself with some of its components. These parts are all good to know, but we will be focusing on these main parts in the program. Tip the base back down and slide it to the position it will ultimately be located after assembly. If the unit will be placed against a wall, be sure a proper clearance is given to allow rotation of the unit. You can use a measuring tape to check this. Also, measure any obstructions on the sides of the unit and make sure there is proper clearance for posts and end panels. Double check your clearance by depressing the foot pedal and rotating the rotor bottom past 45 degrees. Be sure there's still an inch or so clearance. Use the bubble level and 1/4 inch square socket to do a final level. Place the level between the leveling feet on the rotor bottom and raise or lower the feet to center the bubble. Do a left to right level on both the front and back of the base. Then ensure level front to back on both the left and the right of the base. Open the starter door box. It should contain these parts. Return the rotor bottom to a locked position with the U-clip holes going left to right. Open the package of U-clips. Note which sides go in the cabinet and which go out. Insert these clips through the rectangular hole and push them towards the round screw access hole. Stand one door upright against the wall. To make sure you have it upright, check that the tab on the bottom is longer vertically than the other side. Also check the rectangular U-clip hole is above the round screw access hole. If these items are opposite, the door is upside down and needs to be rotated upright. After you have established the door is upright, place the door bottom over the tabs on the rotor bottom. Do not force the door. The tabs may not line up at first. If this is the case, remove the door and reseat it over the tabs. Install the U-clips in the door as you did with the base. In the hardware package, open the 10, 24 by 3/8 inch screws. You will need the Phillips screwdriver for this. Set these items near the unit and get the center panel. Place the center panel on the rotor bottom. Be sure the tab with the screw access holes is at the bottom. If there is no tab with holes, the center panel is upside down and needs to be turned around. Install one screw through the center panel hole, then screw into the U-clip in the door. Do not tighten this screw all the way at this time. Just tighten enough to hold the door. Ensure alignment of the center panel screw holes. Also, check that the tab is parallel with the groove in the rotor bottom. Install a screw through the center panel base tab and screw into the aligned U-clip. Once these screws are in place, the remainder U-clips can have screws installed. Again, do not tighten these screws all the way. They must remain loose enough to allow adjustment of the center panel. Finally, add U-clips to the second door. Attach to the opposite side of rotor bottom. At this point, go back and tighten all screws. Now we can install the rotor top. Use the step ladder for better access to the top. The rubber mallet may help seat the top, but be very cautious, again, not to force anything, as this may cause damage to the unit. Next, put the rotor bottom in free spin mode by depressing the foot pedal, reaching through the large access hole, and sliding the horizontal lock bar to the left, or to the inside of the unit. Open the end panel box. Inside you will find 2 more posts and 2 end panels. If you are installing an add-on to your starter unit, stop at this time and follow the manufacturer's written instructions. You can find these on page 4 of your instruction manual. At this point, we can install the vinyl strips into the posts. Be sure the fins of the strips face away from the posts. Once you insert the end in flush with the end of the post, it is easy to work the strip in all the way down. It doesn't matter which side you install the strips on, except for the post with a lock. This post must be measured from the bottom to the lock. This measurement must be 31 inches. Looking at the post from this angle, right side up, the vinyl strip should be installed on the left-hand side. Be sure to double check this before installing, because once the vinyl strip is installed, it's difficult to remove it, especially without some kind of damage to the strip. Install the post into the end panels as shown. Repeat this on the other side. When you install the post with the lock, measure to ensure it's 31 inches from the bottom to the lock. Then install it on the right side of the end panel. Look in the hardware package again for the 5/16 18 by 3/4 bolts. Take the end panel with posts installed, making sure it's not the one with the lock, and install it on the left side of the unit. The holes in the base are threaded, so simply install the bolts through the holes in the posts and screw them into the threaded holes in the base. For now, just tighten them hand tight. At this point, we recommend marking the floor with tape where the unit sits, and then moving it. Move the unit away from the wall to allow enough room to install the bolts in the back of the unit. The alternative to this is to check the unit to ensure it's in a free spin mode. Then step inside and rotate yourself to the back. Do not do this alone. Always have someone in the room that's capable of pushing the pedal down and disengaging the lock. Repeat this process with the other end panel. Be sure the lock is forward and 31 inches from the post. Again, access the back bolt by riding inside or going around back. Pull the 4 Tinnerman nuts from the hardware package. These will be mounted on the canopy top and will create the threaded holes to mount the top of the post to. Mount the canopy top so the pivot pin slides into the bronze bushing of the rotor top. Make sure the canopy holes face to the right side of the unit. Using the same bolts used to mount the side posts to the base, mount the posts to the canopy top. Remember to only ride in the unit after checking it for free spin mode and with someone present in the case of accidental locking. We can now tighten the bolts with the following tools. After they are tight, install the canopy top hole covers. If you are attaching an add-on unit, do not install these covers. If you plan on adding a unit at a later time, add them for now. They can be removed later. Now we can connect the lock to the horizontal lock bar. Using these tools, remove the nut and keys from the back of the lock. Next, acquire the vertical lock rod from the base box contents. There is a lock mechanism side, which is the top, and best identified by the eyelet. The horizontal lock bar side is the bottom, and has a bend without an eyelet. To install the rod, insert the key into the lock, then rotate the inside of the unit so you can access the right side. Insert the rod into the hole inside the post. The hole is identified as the one furthest from the inside, or most towards the end panel. Once it is in, reach through the large access hole and guide the rod with your fingers through the hole in the horizontal lock bar. Next, we can slip the eyelet at the top of the rod over the threaded post on the lock mechanism. Then install the locking nut on the threaded post with the 3/8 socket. Tighten the nut all the way, then loosen it just enough so there is little friction when the key is turned. When you turn the key, the lock rod should move up and down, resulting in the horizontal lock bar moving left and right. All that is left to install at this point are the shelves and dividers. X2s come with one type of shelf and two types of dividers. The standard shelves are reversible. This means if you look at them from the top or the flat side, there's a slight lip on one edge and a smooth curve on the other. Another way we can identify which side goes back is to look at the bottom or non-flat side. You will see a tab that has slots in it. This side goes down and to the back. Start installing the shelves from the bottom up. On the inside edges of the doors, there are slots that stick out slightly. Inversely, on the shelves, there are tabs that point down. These tabs install directly into the slots on the doors. Standard spacing for shelves are every 6 slots. This means the shelf sits on the 6th slot. Install them this way all the way up. Shelves can be slightly difficult to seat. If you find this the case, try wiggling the shelf into place or removing it and starting fresh. Dividers are easy to install. Use 10-inch dividers all the way up. Be sure you seat the front bottom, and back top tabs to the dividers into the appropriate slots on the shelves. Use the larger 11 3/4 dividers for the top. Repeat this process on the other side. You have now completed the ×2 install video by Salt City Records. If you have any questions, again, feel free and contact your dealer, or contact Richards Wilcox directly.